Welcome back, everyone. We're going to get started back up here again in a minute. I still have a few more rows to do on this last leg, and I'll get that together. If you have not tied off your last leg, don't tie it off. Leave it still attached, because we are going to attach these together, or we might not be able to. We'll be able to attach them together, but I just want to attach mine together in a specific way so that those are on the bottom. Well, they're going to be on the bottom anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter how we attach it. As crafters, when you're creating your own thing, you kind of get a little crazy about how you put things together, and little things that don't look right, you try to fix them and make sure you don't put it in the next time. Having some issues with seasonal allergies. I'm trying to keep the coughing and the throat clearing to a minimum. I'm going to clean up some of these stitch markers and stuff here that I've got dumped out while we wait for everyone to return. And then I'm going to get started by continuing on with the final leg. And then from there I'll show you how to attach together and go on up for the body. And you can do this for any style of amigurumi that you want to make, if you want to make it with this same body style. The head is really going to dictate what the animal looks like. You can have it standing up, you can have it leaning over sideways, as it would normally stand on all four legs. And again, we are I got 3 more rows of half double crochet all the way around to do. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. And I was trying to cook and crochet and then eat and crochet so that I could make it back in time. And then I was like, well, you can't wait until 11:30 to reset up your boom because you used it to talk on the phone. So I came back like 2 minutes early. But we're still finishing up this leg. I got 2 more rows to complete after this one. And then we will work on sewing them together. We are working on a crocheted teddy bear. Started this live around 9 o'clock this morning, intending to do a knitted bear. But we'll do the knitted bear another day, Maria. We sure will. And if you happen to miss it when I do it again, it will be in the YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I take all my TikTok lives to the YouTube and upload them, so that, you know, even after 90 days, TikTok will get rid of them. YouTube, they'll be there forever. So we're uploading those each day as we go. These here today that I will be uploaded by this evening. I won't hold you in suspense like Netflix, and you gotta wait till the next day to watch it. It'll be up there this evening. Got one more round after this one to do. Should have took a decongestant this morning. I keep it up here in camera frame. I didn't put my cushion up here again. I have to stop here in a minute and do that, or my arms are going to be all dug up by this wooden tabletop. I don't put a permanent edging down here because I have my table set up so that As I'm crafting, I'll pull this boom back here a little bit. I've got a tape measure glued down to the table so I can just hold my work down, measure it, and keep right on going. Hold it down, measure, and keep right on going. So, and that little fabric strip, I don't know if you guys saw my video behind the scenes. I have a Velcro strip that is sewed to the underside of this, and this is the cushion I rest my arms on while I'm working over here. I notice if I have my arms resting on the cushion, I tend to stay in camera frame a little better, so. Okay, this will be the last row, and this should give me, or maybe that was the last row. Yep, that was the last row, so we can take those couple of extra stitches out. Okay, and if you're at this point, we are not going to take this apart or finish this off. We're going to leave this hooked in. If you've already finished it off because you're working along, go ahead and slip stitch. You know, hook your yarn back to your hook and slip stitch in that spot, because we're going to continue on from that spot with the other leg. We are going to be crocheting the two together for a certain number of stitches so that we create the inner part of the legs. Okay, so I'm going to go, I want to make sure that we put this in the middle so that way we don't have to weave that in. We'll just work over that. And we have 24 stitches on here. So I think I'm going to work over 6 stitches. That leaves us with 18 on each one. So we are going to just slip stitch through the next 6 stitches, and we're going to combine these two together. So we're going to catch 2 on this leg, and then we're going to catch the next 2 on this leg, and we are going to slip stitch them together. Okay, and do that over 6 stitches. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now currently we've taken 6 stitches out of a 24 stitch count, which leaves us with 18 stitches. Okay, and we have something that looks like this. It's stitched together in the middle, and we've got the 2 legs. Okay, now we have to decide, do we want to do just a standing bear, or do we want to do a sit-down bear so we can see those feet? Okay, at this point, that's what we have to decide what we're going to do. So, which would you guys like to see? A standing bear or a sit-down bear? Thank you for the follow, Bio Grandma. A standing bear. Okay. On a standing bear, we are just going to work these 18 stitches, and then we are going to come over here and work these 18 stitches, and we're going to turn this into a round. Okay? That will give us a standing. If we wanted to do a sitting bear, we would work across a determined amount back here. Okay, probably 6, since we did 6 in the middle. We do 6 on this side, and then actually we would have to bind our string off here if we were doing a sit-down bear. Okay, if we were doing a sit-down bear, we would bind our string off, count over 6 stitches, fasten onto that one, and we would start working back and forth across with adding stitches, increases, and I can show you that at another time. And we would make almost like a cup. We would make a semicircle back here, And then we would work from one side of the semicircle to the other to make a cup, which would give you the bare body. Okay? We'll show you the standing version. And then I'll show you how to make the semicircle if you want to make a sitting down one. And I can demonstrate with the arms how you can attach the semicircle after you've attached the legs. But with this one here, because we're already facing this way, we're going to continue around to the one that's on the left. And you'll do half doubles all the way around. Okay, and I think we went through that stitch, so we got to go to the next one. Half double. And you just do this all the way around. You're just starting to create the body portion. And the body portion is going to be as wide as the legs to start out. If you want a bigger belly, like a little pot belly, or in the belly area, once you've done a row or two of this, if you wanted to do the belly area in a different color, it almost works the same way you would work a crochet Afghan. You would have to carry the one yarn that you're not using throughout. And I can show you how to do all of that. And there is no pattern for this. I'm just making this up as I go along. And I'm willing to teach you all how you can make up your own patterns too. And as you do this, you would just write down what you did on that row. Exactly what you did on that row. As if you were explaining it to someone. Now, when you come here to where you meet these two together, I'm going to do one here. And then I'm going to take and do one between the two. So, and I think I just did a single crochet there. We did. We need to do a half double here. Half double here. And then I'm going to go back into the same stitch I just did and pull up a loop. And we are going to do part of that. We're going to pull through just two. And then we're going to go over here to where we can see the stitch was put together from the last one. And we're going to do the other half of this one here, which is almost like a half double cluster. We're going to have 3 on here, and we're going to pull them all together. This is going to close a hole up that will be caused by having these two pieces put together. There will be a gap here if you don't do that. Okay? We're going to continue on with the half double crochets. And you can use this to make little boy dolls, little girl dolls. You would do this portion if you wanted to do shoes. You would do black so high. Then you could go to a blue jean color. Then when you get to up to the waist, you could do a shirt color. And you can make dolls this way. You can make many different things using this exact same style. And we're going to work this all the way around to the back side. And again, we're working this in the round because we don't want to. And we're coming up on where we started off from the back side after we joined the legs together. Okay, and I'm going to slow that down because we're coming up to, that looks like the stitch that we might have joined in. So we're going to be joining these two stitches together after I do a stitch in this one. Okay, because that's right there in the split. You can see the join right there from the slip stitch. So we're going to do one here, and then we're going to do one in between here and here to connect these two together. Okay. Connect these two together. I'm going to go in. We're only going to pull through 2 loops. So we have 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to go over here to this next stitch, yarn over, just like we're going to do a regular half double, but we're only going to pull through 2. This is going to leave us with 3 stitches on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. This will close up your holes where you have seamed 2 pieces together. Okay, and we have actually done a whole row around. I'm currently, Corrine, I'm currently making a crochet teddy bear, and this is strictly from the top of my head, based off of other amigurumis that I have created. It's basic arm and leg construction. You can make many different things out of this pattern. Hello, Linda from Texas. Welcome, welcome. I'm here teaching knit and crochet. I do thank you for liking the live, Clover Luck. Looking back through my comments here because I wasn't paying attention to them as I was crocheting this portion. Giving everyone a chance to catch up if they're crocheting along. Debbie Engel, thank you for the follow. And I will show us a sitting version as well. You would make a semicircle. Yes, I do have a YouTube. I'm just currently adding my TikTok videos to YouTube of the things that I have done. I am currently teaching here on TikTok. If you want to learn certain stitches or things, I do those on Tuesdays, but I'm pretty much going to be on here every day unless my husband decides to take a day off, because I have made this my job. And it makes me happy to sit here and crochet and teach what I'm doing and sharing this with anyone who wants to learn. So at this point, you would do a couple of rows so that you come up to where the waistband would be. And right about in there, if you want to make a little pot belly, you would increase stitches to the front, which would give you a little pooch. And then you would have to decrease back. So if you wanted a little plump belly bear, I can show how to do that as well. But I'm going to take a second to show you how to do the semicircle. These are the arms that I had set to make, but I can show you quickly how to do the semicircle for the back, which is basically a half of one of these. Instead of working in the round, you would just work back and forth in this fashion. And you could do that after connecting these two. Let me see something here real quick. If I can't put these together sewed quickly so that I can take them out so that we can attach them as arms here shortly. And I'm going to do a little different color thread because this is not going to be staying with us, because those are going to be our arms. But just so I can show you how you can do a sitting one at the same time, we're going to go ahead and do our slip knot onto here. Actually, we need the magic circle, sorry. Do our magic circle here. Okay, and because we did 8 in these, I'm going to go ahead and do 8 because that should give me the space that I need with 2 rows to cover the area that I need to cover. So I'm going to put 8 half doubles in this circle. There's one. Welcome, Belinda. I've got a lot of new people on my page. Over the last 2 days, I think I've gotten 300 new followers, and it just makes me ever so happy to be able to show my skills and the way that I do them. And they take up crochet or knit and go on and just are as happy with it as I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 3 more. 6, 7, 8. Now I do take my time if we have new crocheters. Debbie Engel, I will be uploading this video this evening, so that way it'll be there on YouTube. I do have direct links on TikTok here for you to go straight to my YouTube. I've also linked my Facebook Messenger, my Instagram page, which has a lot of the other stuff that I have done other than yarn and fiber arts. So yeah, I do have these so that you can look back on them if you like. Now, when we did the arms and legs, we worked in the circle, so we would come over here and keep working around. We're not going to work around on this. We're going to leave this flat, which is going to give us that semicircle. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have to turn this work over, as you would normally in crochet when you're working flat work. And we're going to work back over these stitches, and we're going to increase them by doing 2 in each stitch. So that's going to give us our 16. And I'm going to work those really quickly here. And for anybody who's new to crochet, I am going to start teaching my class a little bit differently, not picking such big projects, but teaching certain stitch combinations. I don't think we got 2 in the first one. Nope, we did. Sitting here talking, trying to make sure I work over this end. Even though it's not going to stay, it needs to be worked over so it keeps that flat. Otherwise, we're not going to have a true semicircle, which wouldn't be a big deal. Okay. And then talking again and not counting. There is no easy way to keep track of your stitches other than to not talk or have anybody talk to you while you're doing them. I've had a lot of people ask that question here. What is the easiest way to keep track of your stitches? There is no easy way. There's easy ways to keep track of your rows. I use a digital stitch counter for my rows, and I use those to keep track. Now, if you're going to make a sitting bear, I would recommend that you stuff a little beanbag type thing in the bottom to make it stay sitting. I have taken, and I have them here in my craft room, I use the knee-high nylons, and I will use the toe of them first because it makes it so that I don't have to do but one sew. And then after I use that one, I'll use the whole stocking because I'll sew the bottom up, then I'll fill it, and then I'll sew the top off. It makes it so it's weighted. And I do have poly pellets, which are little plastic pellets. You can also use rice to make that little beanbag type thing. Now this isn't going to lay completely flat because of the amount of stitches that we have, but it gives you a semicircle type area. Okay, I'm glad that you found me. Let me double check now that I've paused for a minute. Left-handed beginners. I can do my best to teach you left-handed, even though I am right-handed. If you watch videos on YouTube, and this is what I've been told by other left-handers, I don't know how well it works, but it has worked for some. Stick your phone in a stand and face it away from you. Stick a mirror on the other side of the phone and watch the video in the mirror. It should flip it around for you so that you can watch, so that you can see it left-handed. I try to do left-hand crocheting. I'll have to try a little bit better because crochet is not my preferred fiber art. Knitting is, but I do know how to do both pretty well. Now I'm going to go ahead and do another row, and I'm going to increase this again because I don't want my legs to be bigger than my bear. I want this to, yeah, we're going to need one more row. So one more row should do it. So on this one, we're going to turn our work around again. We're going to chain 1. I'm going to go ahead and chain 2 this time. And we are going to do 2 half doubles in the first stitch and 1 in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that all the way across those 16 stitches. Not only is this giving us a round portion, but it's also giving us this space back this way for the width of the bare body. Okay, do 2 in this one and do 2 in this one. And for the new crocheters, I do slow these stitches down in the beginning when I first start and show you the technique of the whole stitch. I've been doing half doubles through this whole project, so I'm just going to keep going. If someone wants to see the stitch definition a little bit better, holler at me in the comments. I will slow it down so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And please feel free to share. And here I'm missing a whole bunch because I'm talking. Not putting, well, I shouldn't be putting doubles in every one, and I probably was. Yes, let me start back over here. Because we don't want to put doubles in it, we will make it ripple. Now, if you want the ripple effect, you can continue on with doubles, but we don't want that. We want it flat. So 2 in that one, 1 in the next one. Get to talking, and even the most experienced crocheter, and I have 40 plus years of experience here with crochet and knit, and we'll make mistakes. And I'm not going to hide that. I'm going to let everybody see it. We're all human. We catch our mistakes. Someone else caught one that I made on the bucket hat. I had double crochets instead of half doubles. And it will affect your work unless it's called for you to do it that way. But it wasn't, so it would have not given the effect that I wanted. Okay, we need 2 in this one. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are making crocheted teddy bears, and currently I am off. Here we go. 2 in this one and 1 in the next one. This should be big enough for us to go ahead on and attach this to the back of our feet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate that on the back of the leg, since we haven't went that far. That way we don't have to detach it from the arms. This you will have to fiddle around with a little bit, okay? We have our legs already attached together here, and normally we wouldn't have this here, so just ignore this, okay? This will get attached because we're going to have it sitting. You might have to do another row or 2. It will get attached along these lines of stitching. Okay, we would have to do another row. And you would attach here and work one side and attach and then work back and forth. So you actually made a cup. And you would work to the top of the legs. Okay, once you get to the top of the legs, you will start working in a round to build the bear body upwards to do a sitting bear. Okay, and then from that point, once you've got the point to where you're working in the round on the sitting bear, it would go the same as what we're doing right now. You're just going to work the body to height. Where you would attach the arms on just above that, if you wanted to, you could round in for shoulders a little bit, and then we'll start coming back out around for the bear's head. So basically we're just going to be working around this, and we won't have to do these doubles in here like we did before. Actually it's a decrease. You put 2 stitches together. We're just going to work around all of this now as normal. And I am going to put a stitch marker in here just so I can count my stitches. And I will be quiet this round through. If anybody has any comments, this would be a good time to put them up there because I'll be able to see them. This is 7, and I'm working half doubles all the way around. And there's 18. There's 30. And we have 37 stitches currently around, or I do. And you can see here that this bear will stand up. Once you stuff it, it will stand up. If you're concerned about it remaining standing up, you can always, like I said, put a little bean bag down on the bottom, a little weight to make sure that it stands. I always, when I use the poly pellets, I'll put them in a little nylon sewed up bag, so that way they don't fall out, because those little poly pellets will fall out through these holes, especially if they get pulled or squished. And then just enough to give it a little weight, and then stuff it as normal. At this point right now, we would stuff these legs. I'm not going to stuff them because I currently don't have enough fiber fill to probably stuff one of these legs. I need to order some more. So we'll continue on. I will stuff this at a later date, but we were just going to build this to height. I'm going to do another row or two before I start doing an increase for the belly, and I'll have to figure out which side I want to do it on, and that'll make it my front side. Okay, put my little marker back in here just so we know where the end of our round is. Make sure you do that unless you're really good at counting stitches. If you don't have stitch markers because you're new, just starting out, you can take a little piece of a different colored yarn and just pull it through there so you know that that was your last stitch. You can use a paper clip, safety pin, anything that will clip on in there and hold on. French hook of an earring. You can turn anything into a crafting tool almost. So we're just going on around here, and I think this side looks nice and smooth. I might make this side my front side, the opposite side of my stitch marker. And this is where I'll do my increases for my belly. And what I'm going to do when I do those increases, and I'm going to put stitch markers where I started them and put stitch markers where I finished them, because we're only going to do it in the belly portion. And we want to make sure that we keep our decreases in that same area. Otherwise our pooch will not be in one spot. So probably on this next row, let me see here, I'm going to go ahead and put some stitch markers in here. And there again, there is no pattern for this. Absolutely no pattern. This is strictly coming right off the top of my head as we go around. And I'm going to go from right here, and I'm going to come over here. These are other stitch markers that I have. These just look like safety pins, and these are metal, painted metal, little safety pins. And I think I'm going to do right there at that stitch. Get my fingers to cooperate with me here today. Alright, put our hook back in there, and I'll take another look at that and make sure it looks pretty good. And I might even shorten that up some, because that's going to be the front portion. I probably will, because I don't want the belly that wide. Hello everybody. Hello Hoarder Ace, how are you doing? Are you still working on that pink and gray granny square cardigan? It's coming along pretty nice. Put our stitch marker back in there to mark the end of our row. And I'm going to take a look at this here real quick and really put down where we want to put the belly. And I think I'm going to come in about 2 stitches on each side. 2. Unpin this one. 1, 2. Double check the placement on this and see if it's, put this one closed before it sticks me. One more on this side. All right, and that's where we're going to put our belly, which is almost and just a little past center on both sides of the legs. If you flatten it out, just past. And we'll put some increases in here to give us a nice little poochy belly. If you wanted to, in this area, you could change the colors, but then again, you're going to have to carry that color the rest of the way around. And because we're working in the round, you can't work it like a Grafghan with a bobbin of yarn there in the middle, so you would have to carry it around. But I'm not going to put a separate color. We're just going to ran out of white. Always run out of white. A mystery knit. Oh, I can't wait to see what that is. Can't wait to see what that is. A mystery knit. You know, that was something that I have wanted to do, and I might get my mother to do it for me. I would like to be given a pattern, the yarn type that I need to have, the needle size that I need to have, and just be given directions and not told what it is. I would love to just have something like that, you know, almost like the mystery toys that the kids get in the packages. They have to open the package to find out what toy's inside. And to be given a knit kit with everything in it, and it's just, you know, a mystery knit. And you've purchased a knit that you have no idea what you're doing with. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start adding some increases in here. Let me see how many stitches we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have 11 stitches currently. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that's all from center. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move this over one. Then I'm going to double check this other one with the center. What looks like center to me. Might not be true center, but this right here looks like the center. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do it that way and have 10 stitches here in this thing here. I'm going to write a little notation, that way I know that I have to decrease that back down in that area to 10 stitches. I always make little notations when I'm doing things like this. And then I find these notations later and I'm like, well, what the heck was that for? Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so I'm going to leave this stitch marker right here. And it's not one of the easy slip ones. I'll move it up every couple of rows. But I'm going to go ahead and do some increases in here. I'm going to do 4 stitches. 4 stitches. Let's go ahead and do, let's see. Let's do a half double. And I'm making this up as I go along. Really, truly I am. Get that stitch marker out of the way, but I still want it to the front. And put 2 in the next one. Okay, I'm going to have to move this up here so I don't lose it. So 1, 2, 3. Is that right? 1, 2. This was the last one. I'm going to have to move these up as I go, so this is going to be a pain. So we've done 1, 2. Let's do that all the way across. Just to go ahead and make a decision. If it doesn't turn out right, it'll be okay. 1, and then 2. We're just trying to create a little bit of pooch here. And then 2. Oops, not through the stitch marker. And then do 1. And we're going to do 1 more right here in this stitch. And then the rest of these stitches further on back here, I'm going to mark this one again. Move this up. Get my fingers to work in here and we'll get it through. Alright. And then the rest are just single single stitches of half double crochet the rest of the way around. One single stitch in each stitch below. Come back around. We're not going to do as many increases. Do one every 2 stitches probably. So the first row we went 2 and then 1. Did 1 in the first and 1 in the last. The second round we're going to do 1 stitch, 1 stitch, then we're going to do 2 stitches. And we'll work that all the way around. Single afterwards. And that might be enough to give us the little pooch effect that I would like to have. Should have got me a glass of water. We'll persevere through. Pull some more of that string out. I don't know if anybody's made any comments. I've been steady chitter-chattering all the way through here. Gotta check and see who all's here and make sure we say hi to everybody. Welcome everybody for joining. Well, thank you for all the top-down socks, Hoarder Ace, with color work. Oh my goodness. I used to go crazy with socks. Okay, let's see what we have here. I actually made a pair of socks. There was a pattern. It's called, oh, this stitch is just a half double crochet. I'll slow it down a little bit so I can show you on the next couple of stitches here. You yarn over, you go into your stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 stitches on your crochet hook. You go through all 3. Again, that's a yarn over, down into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then through all 3. I'll show you that a couple more times here without the direction. Thank you, is it Carolina or Carolina Perez? Thank you for the follow. I will slow down if you need me to demonstrate the stitch for you. I am going to start getting specific in my Tuesday class with the stitches that I'm doing and showing how you group stitches together to make different patterns. And then I will show you patterns, probably not do them, for items that you can use that pattern in. I can link all of that. And you can see here, looking at it from sideways, we've got a nice little pooch starting there. So I'm probably going to do one more row with some increases here, as I had written down over here. And that'll be enough to make a little belly shaping here. If you want to make him a little rounder all the way around, you can increase rounds and make him, you know, rounder more so than just the belly. But I'm going to give him a little belly, and I'm going to leave the back of him pretty much the way it is. So we're going to go through here on this one, and I'm going to take and move this up, because here's where we're going to have to make sure that we go back down to 10 stitches so that we decrease that belly. All right, in this round we're going to do 1 half double. Yes, this stitch here, these little stitches here are the tops of the stitches of the previous row. They create a nice lovely little hole right here. And these are different than a double crochet. But yeah, you go right through that hole, and I'll show you again the half double. We're going to do 1 more, and then I'm going to put 2 into the next stitch. You yarn over, so you have the last stitch and your yarn over on your hook. You're going to go down here. The next stitch is right here. We're going to go down through this hole all the way through both of the loops. Okay, because we're working in both loops of our work now. And we are going to yarn over, pull the loop through that hole, and then we have 3 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull through all 3 loops. And that is known as a half double crochet, and the abbreviation for that is HDC. Okay, here we're going to put 2. And then we are going to do 2 more singles. And then we are going to do another double. Actually, we're going to do 2 stitches, not a double, 2 stitches. And then in the next 2 stitches, we're going to do single stitches, but they're going to be half double crochets. Let me use the right words so I don't confuse you with all of this crochet lingo. Now we're going to put 2 half double stitches in this stitch. And then in the next 2 stitches, 1 half double here and 1 half double here. And I'm going to stop and take a look at this because I don't want to make his belly too big. And I think I'm just going to do half doubles in the rest of these. And now I know I'm going to work that around. And as I go around, I'm going to have to move these stitch markers up. Take this one off, so that I make sure, like I said, that we go back down to close to 10 stitches in that area. That way we know which area to decrease our stitches in, because if you want a little pooch in one certain area, you need to increase the stitches in that area and do the decreases in the same area. If you decide to do the decreases back here, all it's going to do is pinch this up and you're still going to have your pooch. So wherever you do your increases is where you should do your decreases when you're making pooches like this for stuffed animals or whatever. So now we're just going to work a couple of rows. It's going to be a good couple of rows, and keep an eye on our time here. I have until 3 o'clock, but I don't think I'm going to stay on that long, but who knows. If we have to do a part 3, we can do a part 3. But I was on here a week before last, I think it was, and I did the basic construction of a knitted sweater. And I did it on the miniature size to fit an 8-inch baby doll, a baby doll that measured with an 8-inch chest. And it basically showed you how you could make a sweater without shaping, just from measurements. And again, we're just working 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And as you can see, this is starting to look like a little pair of legs. And the lower portion of any type of body that you might want to do. You could do a giraffe pattern like this, do the body and stuff in yellow. And then I'm going to take this marker out. And I went through the marker. It's going to make it hard to get it out. Take it out, do the stitch and put it back in. And I'm working around the camera boom and everything else. I'm just going to leave that. Nope, don't want to just leave that hang because I'm going to end up sticking myself. Again, this is the area where we increase. We're just going to work over this like this. But as for a giraffe, as I was talking, you could do this in yellow and then make little circle spots with just one round and sew them on. Or you can embroider, use a needle and stitch little circles with brown to make it a little zebra. How you would do the head would dictate what the animal was going to be. You could do this for baby dolls, little boy dolls, little girl dolls, whatever stuff you were making that you wanted to resemble, you know, this shape. You could do it just like this. Let me stop here and see if anybody else has made a comment. or asked for a little more clarity on the stitches. User 236, just show up for class. There's no fee for my class. I teach absolutely free, and I try to set up the class based on what the student wants to see, not what I want to teach. I would rather teach you what you want to learn instead of having you hang around until, oh, here's a lesson I want to learn. I try to fix it up to where those that are in the class hit me up on Sunday, hey, can you show me this stitch? Or, hey, can you help me with this pattern? And then Tuesday, when I do my class from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go over that type of stuff. And I also have other things planned. And I try to have it to where the projects are on small scale, so when you leave class, it's finished. You're not sitting around waiting for next Tuesday to start working on this again. So I try to work it out that way. The last class, we tried to do a bucket hat, and we ran out of time. Other things popped up. I'll put this up here so we remember where our decreases need to go. And we can do our decreases exactly the same as the increases, just instead of increasing, we decrease them. So that way we have them in the same spots and the same type thing. And you can see the little pooch that we're getting here on this now. Move this needle out of the way. It's getting a nice little pooch there. So I might start doing a couple of decreases just so that the pooch doesn't get too awesomely crazy. But yeah, it's got a nice little pooch going on. I think this titty's had a couple cubs. But yeah, if Tuesday mornings don't work for you, let me know what works good, because I'm thinking about dividing my class up to do a knit class and a crochet class, because I don't think an hour is long enough. I do for 2 hours, but I split it. An hour for knit and an hour for crochet. I'm thinking about making it to where I have 2 separate classes and work it that way. Gives more time for to actually get a project finished. For the ones who are new, they can practice the stitch, practice counting their stitches, which is really important with crochet. Knit, you want to count your stitches too. The only way you're going to lose a stitch in knit is if you drop it off the needles, or if you accidentally knit 2 together. I've got new messages in here. Let's check and see while I'm working around this. I haven't lately put, you can do granny squares. I can show you a lot of things that you can do with granny squares, just to, you know, use up the squares that you practice with, so you don't have to keep pulling it out. If that's, some people will practice by pulling it out and redoing it over and over and over. You can make blankets. I actually have a cardigan layout with granny squares. Of course, let me take this out before I crochet over it. The granny squares have to be knitted to a certain size. So you use a certain size needle, or a certain size crochet hook, and you work a certain number of rounds. And then when you sew them all together, it makes a cardigan. That link is in my bio. I can show that too one day. Give you guys time to put a couple. I can show you how to do a single line too, because really you're only doing granny squares. You're not working in a line, so you can't really do a blanket type thing, or really something like this. So actually I start these out almost like you would a granny square with that circle, but I don't use any chain twos. And this circle goes from there, and then this just keeps getting worked around and around and around. But yes, if you have a certain project or a pattern that you would like to try for your first flat crochet, send me a link. You can either message me here on TikTok or Facebook Messenger. Instagram, any of the links that I have in my TikTok. And I will show you how to do, start from a line, how to do all those kinds of things. Yes, definitely, for sure. I'll have you making blankets in no time. Tank tops and all kinds of things. All right, we're going to continue around, and I think this round I'm going to do some of the decreases. So I went in 2, and I'm going to put 2 together. Let me show you how we're going to put 2 together. This is one way that you can decrease with crocheting, and it is called, this one is a half double 2 together, and it will be abbreviated HDC, the number 2, and TOG. Okay, so we're going to yarn over. We're going to go in just like we're going to do a regular half double, yarn over and pull up a loop, but instead of going through all 3, we're only going to go through 2. Okay, then we're going to go to the next stitch, yarn over just like we're going to start another half double, go through and pull through a loop, and again we're only going to go through 2 stitches. Now we have 3 stitches. You can see here we've got 1 half double, 2 half doubles, and you can see the half double over here we finished before we started this. We're going to go through and yarn over and pull through all 3. That just took these 2 stitches and made them 1. You can see that 1 stitch right there. That's going to start decreasing our belly a little bit because I think he got a little wild. So we're going to go a couple more stitches over. And I'm going to do that again towards the center. And I'm going to make sure while I'm doing these decreases, because I'm not really keeping track of any. I think we're going to go over one more. We're looking here. Yeah, we're going to put these 2 together again, and I'll show you that again. Yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull up your loop, go through just 2 stitches. 1, 2. Okay. Now we're going to go as if to start another one in the next stitch. And we're going to pull through just 2 stitches. Okay. Now we've got these 2 stitches. We're going to make those 2 stitches 1 stitch. Right there on the top, 1 stitch. Okay. Now we're going to continue on, and I think we might do it one more time over here. I want to take a look and see what it looks like. And this is what you do when you create. I probably will take and write this pattern down later on. You guys are more than welcome to be writing this down as we go along. And yes, I will go ahead and do these last 2 as a decrease. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you very much. And then let's count how many stitches we got in between here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches. So we still have to get down to 10, but we're going to do a couple more rows, keep the belly out to about that size. Okay, we probably should have done a couple rows of just plain before we did 2 rows of increases together, but we live and learn. We live and learn. He's going to have a little bigger belly. Okay, so I'm going to take this and move this up into this stitch here. Let me take this out. That's the only thing about not having those slippy kind. I don't have a whole bunch of the slippy kind. My dog got a hold of them and chewed them all up. I need to get some more. So now we're just going to half double back around until we get to the other side. I think we're going to do a couple of straight rows. I might do one more decrease in this next row in the middle, just so we pull this in just a little bit, because yeah, we're getting a little crazy here. Yeah, if you want to increase on the pooch, recommend doing a row of just straight, maybe 2 rows of just whatever stitch you're using, to go around 2 or 3 times before you do another row of increases. So mark that stitch because that's the end of our row. The other 2 stitch markers are marking the pooch that we're doing for the belly. I don't know if somebody's trying to co-host with me or if this is TikTok making suggestions. I don't normally do co-hosts, but I will do a multi-guest. If you want to come in as a multi-guest. Normally try, if I'm going to do a co-host, it's somebody that I know and somebody that I talk to on the normal. Might not be that somebody lives local, but somebody that I know. But yes, if you would like to multi-guest, please do so. Alright, we're going to do this stitch, and I'm going to move this marker up so that we keep that stitch marked as where we started our pooch for the belly. I'll hook back in here. And we are going to do a decrease in the middle here. And that'll bring us down another stitch from 15 to 14 in this space. So then we will only have 4 more to get rid of. And we will probably do that in the last 2 rows. Not the last 2, because it'll be a sharp get rid of. But yeah, we'll fade it back in. And I'm going to back this up 1 stitch, because this looks like the middle to me. And we're going to put these 2 stitches together here. Do a half double decrease. Okay. No, but I would love to quilt. I do some sewing, and I have made clothes for my daughters, really pretty Easter style dresses with the puffy princess sleeves and the 3-tier ruffles down the back. I do not have any pictures of them, but I do still have the patterns. I made these for my daughters when they were in elementary school. They are now currently 33 and 23. So these dresses were made a long time ago. I want to get back into sewing, but it's not anything, and you can tell here because we put a little bit, it's looking a little boxy. So we can fix that when we stuff it. The stuffing will help shape it a little bit better. But again, this pattern is off the top of my head. It's not going to be perfect. If I were pattern testing this afterwards, I would make those corrections on those pattern lines, but I'm not going to keep correcting because I will confuse you to no end, especially the new crocheters. So we're just going to keep on going with all of these beautiful little design elements in here and create as we go. You could also turn this, instead of it being a teddy bear, when you got to the head portion, if you wanted to create your own little spooky, creepy monster with just one eye and half eyebrow or whatever you wanted to do. This could be turned into one of those little one-eyed creatures from this point too. I'm going to put a little eye on the front and dome the head in. There's all different applications to what I'm doing right here. And creativity is only limited by yourself. You can use this same application to crochet pants for infants. You would just put in an elastic waistband, or I've seen them sew elastic right inside. You wouldn't do the circles, you would just chain so many and just connect it together and keep going. So many different applications for what I'm doing. It's limitless. Limitless. I'm going to take a look at this here in a minute and see just about how big we got it. I don't want to go too crazy. Do need to go up a little bit higher because of the proportion that I made this belly. But for the sake of making this, I'm going to take this out of here so I don't stitch through it and then have a hard time getting it in here. Just remembering to put it back in here. And closing it up so I don't stab myself, because it is a sharp one. I don't know why they would make a sharp metal stitch marker like that, but anyway. Alright, and we're just going to stitch straight through this one. No decreases. I'm going to come around to here. Probably need another 3 or 4 rows, but let me take my crochet hook out so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm looking at the body and I'm looking for size. So probably right about in here is where I would attach the arms at this point. Okay? You can see how big it is. The arms will attach here, but they will have to attach all the way around. So what I'm going to do, just for, let's say, shits and giggles, we're going to hold this down here. We're going to see how many rows this covers. Okay? So we're going to look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to mark this with a different marker. I have another stitch marker that actually closes up too. If I can get it to come apart. There we go. And I'm going to take and I'm going to mark around this front post here. This is going to be a little wiggle around to get it. That's where we are going to attach our arms. Normally I would mark this with a piece of scrap yarn, but because I had the stitch markers laying out here, and this one is really flexible and I can fit it around this post of this stitch here. That's what they call this. This is the post of your stitch. And I'm just going to leave this sit here, and that's where when I come back I'm going to attach my arms on. And from the other side I'll be able to line it up with this one where I attached it on. Okay, so we're going to continue on. We're going to need about 6 rows. Okay, if you're following along with me, we're going to work through these as quick as we can so I can show you. Well, the hands will sew on later, but after those 6 rows we're going to start bringing the whole thing in. So I'm going to have to count my stitches. We're also going to want to be back to the 10 stitches here in between these things where my hands don't want to cooperate with me. Okay. Get these 6 rows done. We need to be ready to start bringing the shoulder shaping in. Plus, we want to make sure that we have this area back down to... How did it get way over there? We'll fix it. Get that area back down to 10 stitches. So we'll have to get this back down to 37 stitches, which was our original, before we start those shoulder shaping. So we're going to be working on that. I want to do about 3 rows, and then over the last 3 we should be able to get this back down to 37. So I think I said I needed to get rid of 4 more stitches. So we're going to work on doing that. And that one's gotten off to the side too, probably because all those darn it increases. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to count this row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We need to move this up. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 'We were on number 28. Okay. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, oops, yarn over first, 35, 36, 37. Now this will tell me exactly how many I got to get rid of. 1, 2, 3 more that I need to decrease to have our belly back down to the original size. And we will get that done. Okay. So we still need 5 more rows. And I don't know how in the world that pin got way over here. I did something wrong, but we're going to leave that one off because we see where the pooch is. And we know where it started. It'll be good to go. And we'll get it down to 3 more stitches and we'll decrease those across the front and be back to the 37 stitches where we started down here where we connected the legs together. Right. We're just continuing on. I'm going to check my comments real quick. I had a big old surge of comments and I don't know if it was just people joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here making together with no pattern, straight out of my brain, a crocheted teddy bear. And I'm letting everyone know that there's many different applications and amigurumi that you can make with this style. You can make boy clothes or boy dolls. You can make girl dolls. Okay, it's not letting me go back up any further than that in my comments. Looks like just everybody joining. Welcome, welcome. And we are going to continue around with this teddy bear. Anybody who wants to learn can follow along. I do upload these to YouTube for watching later. If you cannot stay, but you really want to stay, it'll be there on YouTube forever, just waiting for you to come and watch. I do have a link here on TikTok that will take you directly to all of that. Right above all of my videos on my TikTok page, you will see a link tree. If you click on that, it will take you to the links to the patterns that I have used in my class. And any patterns that I'll use in the future, I will link there before class and put them as that purpose. If it's just patterns that I've linked to share to help other people with, then it will be just the pattern link. So we are continuing on. So we still have 4 more rows of just like this to do. And I'm going to do another decrease here. We're going to do it right here. And then I'll do one about this same spot on the other side. Decrease done, and on we are going. Oop. Got a little overzealous there. I might have to move this camera up just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Getting a little bit of a kink in my neck here, and we're going to put another decrease right here. And then we will do this. Keep on going. Should have 3 more rows after this one. Trying to get it done quickly because it's already going on at 2 hours now, and I don't want to hold you guys up. I don't know, anybody here still watching want to do a part 3 on this? I'll give you a second to respond while I continue. If you want me to do a part 3, we can come back at a later time that will be preset before I leave today, if you would like for me to do that. And I can set this to the side and we can pick it right back up, or I can keep going. Part 3 around 9 tomorrow? Sure. What time do you have to leave today? I see a yes from Betty Jane. Is that yes to a part 3? You're available till 1:30. Okay, well, I'll keep going until 1:30. I'm sure I can get to the shoulder shaping until then. And then we can continue on with a part 3 around 9 a.m. tomorrow. And from there, we will do the shoulder shaping in the head. I will go ahead and continue on. And I'm going to... Oh, I just lost a stitch marker. I lost the beginning of my row. I hate when they fall out, but I know that wasn't it, but we'll work it over to there. It'll be okay. I'll get it back on center. Okay, I'm going to take this one out. And do the last stitch here of the row, or not the last stitch, but that's for my decrease area. And I'm going to do plain through here. Just regular, no decreases. Just keep going with the half double crochets. Trying to keep you in camera frame and still see what I'm doing. I'm losing space here. Let me see if I can't adjust this up a little. There we go. Oh, now I can't see my comments. Ah. Well, Betty Jane, you come back any Tuesday. I'm here from, it's 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. If you give me a follow, you'll get notified every time I go live. I will be going live again 9 o'clock tomorrow to finish this up. I'm probably only going to go till 1 today. That way I can take a little bit of a break and work on some of my other things. I do have a video that I want to make to show the updates on my smoker's jacket, some of the other things that I'm working on. But yes, if you have friends that want to learn to crochet or knit, please share. They can join. I do not charge anything. I was taught for free. I will teach for free. I do my best to make sure. Looking at these comments here. Let me look at these comments. Self-Made Melanie. I am going to start doing a knitting class. We can talk about that a little bit now. I just need an idea of when people have time available for knitting. Yes, Cafe Crochet. I do have a YouTube channel. Links and all that are in my TikTok bio. It'll take you directly to it. That way you don't have to worry about, there are other people that use The Yarnologist. I don't know if there's any other Melanie Alexanders, but my YouTube is The Yarnologist, and so you make sure you get the right one. If you follow the link under the link tree on my profile, it'll take you right to it. And all of these lives get uploaded to there. So relaxing. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh. You're already subscribed. Well, it's okay. You'll get, if you subscribe to my YouTube, you'll get notifications when I upload in case you miss a live. I try to label them to make sure that you know what's in there. We do jump around a good bit with class, so I can't put every label on everything. And I'm going to start putting links for the patterns in the comments on my YouTube for any patterns that I use, so that if you want to follow along with the YouTube video, you can follow along. Definitely am going to have to try and get a class schedule down, figure out when people want to do or have time to do the knit. I was thinking Tuesday next week we'll do our regular class from 8 to 10 Tuesday morning, and then probably from, I would say, 12 to 2 do another one, and we could do one knitting and one crochet. Or if those time slots don't work for you, just hit me up with a message. Let me know when you have time available on a consistent day, so that way the day is set and locked in time as well. I think we've gotten everybody. Still have a lot of people coming in right now, so I might go for a little while. Marie, I will stop with this teddy bear, and we can work on something else. I don't know if there's any other stitches that anybody else wants to see while we're here. I do have the yarn and stuff to be able to do that. If you... And I got to make sure I do 6 stitches or 6 rows from that marker. Let me write that down. From post marker. But yeah, I know. I've got a lot of watchers, and I really hate to end a live with so many people in here that might have questions. So really, I'm willing to stop what I'm doing right now, because we are going to have to stop with this, because the person I am actually assisting this with has to go around 1:30. If there's some other stitches that you might want to see while I'm still here and got a lot of people in here, this is really just absolutely making my day, because this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to pass on my knowledge to others. My daughter at the age of 33 is just now really getting interested again. I did teach her crochet when she was younger. She's learning to knit now, and now all she wants to do is knit. She doesn't know why she waited so long to learn how to knit. She loves it. Again, she's just starting out with the basics, and she knitted some squares and made coasters out of them. And yes, I am doing it, and I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. And you know, honestly, it's you guys who are allowing me to do what I want to do. Without you guys, I couldn't do it. I'd just be sitting here talking and crocheting. Which cardigan is that you would like to see? I have a vintage smoker's jacket that I'm working on currently. I'm altering a pattern that's in a book, and I'm working on that. I don't think I brought the book out here with me. It's in the other room because I was working on it in the other room. I have a colorwork cardigan that I'm working on. It's a pullover sweater. I haven't done the granny yet. I did upload that granny layout simply because someone else had asked about a granny cardigan, and it goes from an extra small all the way up to a 2X, and it shows you how many squares you need, what size they need to be, and how to lay them out. And I'm out of printer ink, otherwise I would print it out. And hold on a minute, I'll pull it up here on my tablet since I'm not currently using it, and I can show you the layout for the granny squares. I have a bag of granny squares started, and when I get down to little balls of yarn that are only about like this big, I'll take them and throw them in a basket, and they all get made into granny squares. Marie, I'm going to set this to the side, honey, since we only got about another half hour. Let you catch up, catch your breath, and let me take a little break. And we will start this back up at 9 tomorrow, right here. And I will pull this over here if I can get my tablet to cooperate with me. It wants to work when it wants to work. I need to go into my backup, and I will show you, get this to load up. It's so slow. And I've got a big storage card in here, but it's still slow. I need to get a new I need a new laptop. My computer's going to stop working soon. The Windows program is 8.1. Does that tell you how old my computer is? It's terribly old. Strawberry Purse on Instagram. Turn that down and go into my profile. And this is on my backup account. I used to use this so that I could watch my comments, because I had my phone set up to where I couldn't see the front of the screen to see my comments. I can show a knitted granny square really quickly. Yep, sure can. And there's all different kind of granny squares. I can show you some of those too. So I might continue on today if there's people still here that want to see granny squares and all. Double bed size blanket. I love making blankets, Betty Jane. I'm going to be making some double knitted graph blankets, and I will be doing them on here. I made, you can do knitted grannies as well. Yes, you sure can. It's just a knitted square. You start out from the center, and you have to do them on double pointed needles. Okay, I'm going to show you my page here. Right underneath there is a link here where it says Linktree. Under that Linktree, get Linktree to open up. It's going to take a minute because it's just so darn it slow. It really affects the camera light too. Okay, under my Linktree you'll see I've got a bunch of stuff linked. And granny square cardigan layout. This takes you to a link. There is a pattern here. This lady has created this pattern. Oh, it goes all the way up to a 5X. I'm sorry. And it's actually a crocheted rose cardigan. So you would follow the directions for these squares here. And this is a Pinterest pattern. So there is a link. We don't want to see that. So there is a link. It keeps popping up. There is a link here where you can go, and it'll take you straight to Pinterest for this. But these squares, if she has the measurements for these granny squares, you can do any granny square you want as long as it's the same size as the ones that she is making. And you lay them out the way she has them laid out here. And then here at this line where you see this peach colored line, that's the neckline. You would fold it right along there in half and then seam under the arm and down the front, and you've got a cardigan. And I do believe she also shows you how to put this button band on here, because I see buttons on this sweater. So this is something that we could do, but you have to have all your granny squares ready. So if you guys want to do this together as a project, we can do this together as a project, and we just have to have everybody get their granny squares together. And everybody who wants to do it, hit me up with a message. Start working on your granny squares. As soon as you get your granny squares done, hit me back with a message. And when we get enough people, 2 or 3 people done to go ahead and do this sweater, we'll go ahead and do the construction together. Okay, I can show you how to do a granny square. They're pretty simple. And again, I do them in half double crochets. You can do them in double crochets if you like. I like half double because it's compact. It's less airy. I like things that are less airy. If you like them more airy, you can do them with a double crochet. Yes, I know. I saw that beautiful pink and gray one you got that's outlined in white. I'm waiting to see how it looks when you get it finished, Hoarder Ace, for sure. But for a granny square, let me pull out handy dandy skein of yarn I got sitting over here. Well, a yarn cake. We're going to pull this out from what we had earlier. Set this to the side. And again, I always start out with my little magic circle. I'll show you how I do that. Oh, I got a great job from TikTok. We've been on live for an hour and a half. Okay, so, and we've lost almost all of our viewers. What happened? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and I'll do a granny square with you guys. Marie, if you're still here, you can check out this granny square. And everybody who wants to do this along, we can all make a granny square cardigan together. You can do any colors of the granny square you want. Again, we just have to make sure that these are to size. If you want to do this together, hit me up with a message. I will do one of the crocheted granny squares that they have on here. I will measure the size. That way, if you want to do a particular style of granny, I can show you several different styles of granny square, and I will link patterns to them here in TikTok so that everybody has access to them. And anybody who wants to do it together, I will do one and I will tell you the size so you can make them all to size if you want to change up the design from what they're currently doing. Oh, you got to go get some string. Do you have any there, or do you have to go out and purchase? Because I can wait a few minutes if you have some at home. If not, we can always do another demo. That way I can keep things going here. I'm going to go ahead and do our magic circle, which I've shown before. I'm going to try and stay in camera when I do this. And we are going to we're going to work our granny square right here in the center of this. Okay, so we're going to chain, and we're going to do 3 half doubles right in this circle. Half double is the one I've been doing this whole time for the teddy bear. Oh, somebody's joined me from a share. Thank you so much. Who was that? Thank you so much. Oh, I don't know. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do 3 double crochets. There's 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 3 more crochets, double crochets, in this circle here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain 2 more. Then we're going to do 3 more half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and those are all going into the circle. And then I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit. We're going to do a chain 2, and then 3 more half double crochets, not sets, but just 3 more half double crochets in the circle. And then when we get that done, because we're doing the magic circle, we're going to take and pull our little magic string, and we have a square. Look at that. The middle square. Now I'm going to check my comments here really quickly. And again, I do upload all these videos to YouTube, so if you've missed anything, there is a link in my bio on TikTok for my YouTube. If you follow and subscribe to my YouTube, which again is no charge, unlike TikTok and some of the others so far. I do not charge for you to follow or subscribe to be notified to anything I do. You do 4 sets. If you have your circle, you do 3 half double crochets and chain 2. And you repeat that 4 times. Hey, Hessa Life, how are you? And that'll bring you right to here. We're going to go ahead and do the 2, chain 2. And then I'm going to hook these together, and I'm going to give Maria a chance to catch up with us. We're working on a granny square here because I showed the granny square cardigan layout that will go from an extra small all the way up to a 5X, which I have a link in my TikTok for. It's called the Granny Square Cardigan Layout. This is a Pinterest link. You can go here. She tells you exactly how to make the granny squares, how many rounds, what stitches she used. I'm going to go ahead for the more adventurous, and I'm going to make one of the granny squares and get measurements, so that way if you would like to do a different style of granny, you can do so. And we are going to work that together if there's anyone who's interested. All right, Maria, thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. We got big love. I don't know if something's coming up on the screen in a minute. There's some hearts. Good afternoon, Karen. How are you doing? We're working on a granny square here. All right, Maria, we did 3 half double crochets and chain 2 after that, and we did 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of that, and we hooked that back together with the slip stitch at the first half double crochet from the last row. Now we're going to go ahead and continue on with this granny square. Thank you for the follow. You're working on straps for your granny bag. Look at you go. I'm going to have another granny square tote bag done, and I'm really wanting, I need to take the time, and I might do that today, and I probably will get off of here about 1:30 with Maria and start working on that bag, because I need to get it done because it needs to get sent out. But I will show you that once the receiver gets it, because it's a surprise. So, and it is a granny square, and it is a different style of granny square, and I do have the pattern link, and once I get it all shipped off and it's received by its recipient, I will share all of that with you. But at this point, we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and we are going to come over here to this corner hole that was created by the chain 2 in the last row. Yeah, you need to line it. And we are going to do 3 half double crochets in that space. So there's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 3 more half double crochets in that same space. There's 1, 2, and 3, and you can see we've just created our square corner. Now we're going to chain 2, and I don't know if you're seeing a pattern yet. 3 half double crochets in that next corner space that was created by the chain 2 from the previous row, and then we're going to chain 2. And then, can anybody tell me what our next step is going to be? We are going to do 3 more double crochet or half double crochets in the same space for our corner. Oop, half double. This is 2, and this is 3. Basic granny square, and it depends on your stitch that you use. Half double only gets a chain 1, maybe sometimes a chain 2. Doubles always get a chain 2 if you're doing a double crochet, but it's basically the same construction. 3 half doubles, 2 chains. And you just repeat that all the way around, and with the granny square, you're working in the spaces. You're not really doing any work along these stitches, you're always working in these spaces. So at this point we've already done 3 double crochet or half double crochets. We're going to do chain 2, and we're going to come over here, and in this corner we're going to put 3 half doubles, chain 2, and then 3 more half double crochets in this same space. And granny squares, you just keep going on and on and on. It's the same all the way around. 3 half doubles and chain 2. Some people use double crochets, they've used treble crochets. There's really decorative granny squares where you go back and you work down over these rows, but way back down here at row 1. All kinds of different grannies. I have to look in my Pinterest, but I have, and that's all you're doing. You're working in the spaces. So here we've done 3 half doubles. We've done the chain 2. We're going to do 3 more half doubles in this space for the corner. And then I'll show you how we attach to where we did the chain 2 at the beginning of this row. Oh, no, that's a double crochet. We're doing half doubles. Half doubles. And that one got a little wild. Let's go back here and start that one over. This is 2 half doubles. And here's the 3rd half double in that. Okay, and then you have something that looks like this, where we started our chain 2 off from the beginning of that last row. All you're going to do now is slip stitch into that space. Oh, Sophie's Universe. Yes, I've seen some of those blankets. I want to do some. I definitely want to do some. But this is the basic granny square construction. You are always working in these spaces. Now they have granny squares that don't have as much spacing, and you do some of the work in the stitching. I do have some of those that aren't quite as open with all of these gaps here. If you like a more closed granny square, you can go on Pinterest. They do have a lot of free patterns for different types of granny squares. Ravelry should have some as well. There's ones where you actually do roses on the granny squares. Let me look in here and see if I can't. Nope, I'm back into here. Let me back out into Pinterest now. Just Pinterest, because I went through my link for that one. And see if I can't show you some of the different types of granny squares. At this point here, we would go ahead and do 3 half double crochets in this spot, chain 2, and work your corners with the 3 half double, chain 2, and 3 half doubles in the corners. And then all the side ones only get 3 half doubles in them. You do the corners with the extras. I do have a specific board just for granny squares because there's a bunch of them. Get this to open up and I can show you some of the different ones. This one here is from an Elements crochet along, and it would really make a pretty sweater, but you can see that there's a lot more front post dipping down to the next row stitching and all of that. Let's see here, what else is on here? That would be more so, oops, went back too far. More so along the lines of grannies. Here's a cute one that you could do for a child, and they use a bauble stitch. It almost looks like a teddy bear on a granny. And you could make a cute little jacket out of this for kids. They would love it, to have teddy bears. No, I haven't seen Yarn Joy or Terry's on Facebook. Trying to catch up with these comments here. Everybody coming in. You could use these in that. If you like this as an adult, you could use these. Let me see what else here. Back out. Here's some that you could do, and these are more so along the lines of, they are granny squares. This would make a neat jacket if you could get them all put together. Doing the squares like this, and this is done along the lines of the granny, but you're doing your increases here along these eyelet stitches. And sewing all of these together in that pattern would give you this pattern here. Let me see. Okay, here they have actually taken, and these are other projects you can do. They've taken granny squares and made a little clutch. So granny squares are really versatile with what you can do with them. There's another one. Here's one that would really make a cute Easter jacket for a little girl. They've done with bunnies. And they did pom-poms. All right, Marie, we'll see you tomorrow at 9. We'll be ready to finish up this bear. But I've got a lot of grannies in here. You can also take granny squares if you make it on a small scale and turn it into blankets. Hello. I don't know who that is. There's no name there, but hello. And let me see what else here. There was one that I saw that was really pretty that had like roses on it. Here's one that you could do for a boy if you wanted to. Little fox blocks. And you could sew these together like a granny square cardigan with that layout and have a little fox sweater. So many different things. Let me see what else here. There's grannies that are like this, that start out round and go square. You can do those as long as they measure to the same size. You know, just because somebody says, okay, we're going to do a granny square cardigan and we're going to use these, you might not like these. You might like a different style of granny square. As long as you can make it to the same size as what they're using, your cardigan will come out to the same size. I'm trying to see here. Here's one that I think would be really neat that you could use for like a summertime cardigan. It's really lacy. And again, this is still considered a granny square. It just has to be the same size. Here's another one on the granny square level. You could put just one of these on and put it on like the front where you would have like the name on a shirt. You could put this on the front and it could be your ugly Christmas sweater. Who knows, you know? There's so many different things that you can do, and you don't have to use the exact same square that they call for. Here this one here, they've covered an ottoman, a footstool. I've actually seen where they've made these to cover armchairs, recliners and stuff. All done with granny squares. There was one up here that I wanted to show you, but I gotta be careful. Okay, so that I don't show you the one that I'm not supposed to. They've used granny squares in the middle of a blanket and done a zigzag. You can do this same thing on the bottom of a duster coat if you have a zigzag pattern, and you can make it the length that you need to make a sweater. And I can show you how to do all of this. I can show you how to make a sweater with this zigzag pattern. Anything you want to do with yarn, I can pretty much help you do, knitting and crochet wise. Here's actually granny squares sewed together to make a pair of knee-high slipper socks. It is absolutely limitless what you can do with yarn and granny squares. There was one here up towards the top that I wanted to show you. I got to make sure that we get just it and not the other one. Turtles. And you don't have to do every single granny square a turtle. You can do a turtle and a fox and just some colors that are the same as these. Or just one of these on, you know, the front part of the cardigan. Or you can do these all around the base edge of the cardigan and use these colors for all the other squares throughout. All different things that you can do. All different things that you can do. And this one here, I thought it was really cute. It's not a granny square, but this can be turned into a heart-shaped messenger bag. Do 2 of these together. They would have to be lined. Or you can do one and line it with the second one, but not do all this lacy work in here. Keep it all closed up like these two. And you can make a heart-shaped messenger bag. A little purse. You can put a zipper in here at the top and make it to where you've got a zippered purse. All different types of applications. And there's all different ways of joining these together. I've actually seen them work granny squares as you go. I've never done it. If anybody wants to see it, we can try it. I'll have to find a written out pattern for it. Double checking my comments here and making sure that I haven't missed anybody. Oh, I'm glad that everybody has had a chance to find me. If you know of anybody, share. Check out my profile, share my videos, come to class. I have class on Tuesdays currently right here on TikTok. All you need to do is have your crochet needle, your knitting needles, and your yarn ready. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. currently, Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday mornings. I am looking to expand to do more classes. It is absolutely free. All you have to do is show up. I am going to be doing some teaching during the week outside of that, but I really just want to come on here and work on some of the stuff that I'm working on and show you some of the things that I can do, and some of the things that I am currently doing. So, yeah, this is what I do right here at this spot pretty much every day. Sometimes I just sit here and watch TV and talk to my dogs, but they're being sleepy right now. But we're probably going to go ahead and end for today since I've been on here since 11 o'clock now and was on earlier this morning. Getting a little tired. So anybody who wants to see what I'm going to do next, or wants to come along and learn, give me a like, give me a follow. You'll get notified every time I come on live. My videos will be under your following. I try to put out a video before class so that you know what you're going to need and what I'm going to try and show. Sometimes we do alter from that a good bit because, oh, thank you, Mary Moore. I hope you have a good day too. Yes, we can do a purse. When would you like to do a purse, Belinda? And what type would you like to do? What type of purse? The little granny square purse that I showed there from Pinterest? Oh yeah, I show you everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The mistakes, fixing the mistakes. I am by far not perfect. I still make mistakes in my work, and sometimes I don't find it until it's finished, and then I have to pull it back. And I have pulled whole cardigans back halfway to the halfway point. You saw a strawberry one on Instagram. Did you happen to save that Instagram post? Because I am on Instagram as well. And I am going to be doing some stuffed animal sash, but we are going to be ending here shortly for today. I am going to make notation. Please follow me. I will be back on 9 o'clock tomorrow morning to finish up this teddy bear that we started. And when we stuff this will flatten out and shape out round and all. We'll be finishing this up tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with the arms and everything. So we'll be finishing that up. And if there is a particular stuffed animal or pattern, and I'll see if I can't find that little strawberry purse, Belinda. I'm going to write your name down here so I can tag you or message you and see if this is the purse that you are talking about. So that way when I do it, and if you want to work it along with me, I can give a materials needed list in a video so that anybody who wants to follow along, they can. I will hit you back up within the next day or two if I find this strawberry purse. If you find it and can get it to me, I am on Instagram. There is a link in my bio here on TikTok for my Instagram. You can go on Instagram, follow me there, and then if you do find it, you can just tag me with it. And oh, I have to tell you about my hook too. Yeah, I can show you how to do it. Anything that you want to watch while I'm here, yeah, feel free to watch. Feel free to crochet along. The only thing I ask, if you do need pattern help, that if it is a paid pattern, you don't upload pictures and pictures and pictures of the pattern. We're really not supposed to do that. If you do need pattern help, I will have you send me a picture of one line to wherever is convenient, that you don't have to create any more accounts on any other social medias, and I will help you with the pattern. But the crochet hook, you guys have to check out Get Crafty Brooks. She is a mother of 3. She is also a school bus driver, and she is looking to boost their income over the summer while she is not working. She is making these hooks. I love it dearly. I have arthritis and I have carpal tunnel, and normally I have a grip on my crochet hook, or my husband has bought me these furl hooks which have a bigger grip. When you don't have to grip something so small, it makes a major difference. If you have an issue with your hands cramping or you have carpal tunnel, this is a godsend. Since I've been using this crochet hook, my pinky is where I get most of the stress because I'm trying to hold that end of the hook and there's not really anything there. I love it. But Get Crafty Brooks, she's on Etsy. She's also here on TikTok. Hit her up. Tell her that Melanie sent you. And yes, she's got, these are all the Susan Bates hooks. She's trying to get some clovers, but the sets of those are really expensive. So for right now, she's doing the Susan Bates hooks. And I don't know if she still has any hooks left for customs. She probably sold out. But check out her Etsy store. She has whatever she has, she'll have on the Etsy store. Or you can message her right here on TikTok. It is Get Crafty Brooks. And yep, she'll help you. But yep, I want to teach all kinds of things, and everybody's now starting to say, hey, this, and hey, this, and hey, this, and we're going to have to try and fit everybody in. But yeah, stop by, come and watch, check me out, see what's going on. If you need help, hit me up. I'm here for all of that. Knitting or crochet wise, currently. I do all kinds of other projects, but I just can't get that deep into crafting to be able to help everybody with everything. But if you do have something other than yarn, let me know. I will either help you or direct you to somebody who can help you with that particular project. I just won't leave you hanging in the wind. So give me a follow. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning we'll be back, and we will be finishing up that crocheted teddy bear. If you haven't started one already, I will be uploading this to YouTube here probably in about an hour or two, because it'll take that long for TikTok to process the live. And then by 5 p.m. I will have this video uploaded so that you can follow along or get your teddy bear started so that you can catch up with us tomorrow. If not, it'll be on YouTube forever so that you can reference it at any time. So I'm going to say good luck. May all your stitch counts match. And of course, as always, have a great day and happy crafting.